Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. Today we're going to be testing out our 6-star Ekko. So as normal, we're going to be testing him out against Fiddlesticks, which I do think is going to be very rough. But let's take a look at his 6-star. So now it's when you see a unit in a predict, double its stats. And the thing that's kind of crazy with this is you can double unit stats, but then see them in another predict and double them again. So you can get absolutely massive units. I think this should be pretty powerful. That being said, I personally don't really think Ekko needs this at all. I think he's probably more than enough power, or has more than enough power with just him being at like 5 stars. And a lot of the power of Ekko doesn't come from units with big stats. So I don't think it's really going to be my favorite 6-star, but again, having some pretty big units should be pretty solid. Now for the build we're going to try today, never done something like this before with Ekko, but I've heard that Cease and Desist is pretty good with that 6-star, since now you can get a much bigger Ekko. So we're going to try to lean into that with going for Echoing, Gale Force, and Cease and Desist. Echoing, really nice, because then any copies of your Ekko are then going to be 1 less because of our 2nd star power, where all of our created cards cost 1 less. And then we're going to go for Gale Force so that we can play an Ekko, recall him, and then try to play another one in another round. Because we're going to constantly be needing to drop new Echoes, ones that have been buffed up from all of our predicts and things like that. And then Gale Force plus Cease and Desist should be pretty good. If we don't have the attack turn, this will essentially give us a rally, because Scout and Free Attack, very strong combo. So this will be interesting. Now we are going up against Fiddlesticks, which I think is going to be pretty rough, because Ekko is all about drawing and creating cards, and the more you do that, the harder Fiddlesticks mills you. So we're kind of counter-picking ourselves, and this is an experimental build that I really don't know how it's going to do. I think it can probably do pretty well in some circumstances, but that being Fiddlesticks, who knows. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Power here, let's see what we can get. Your credit cards cost 1 less. Or, wow, actually, this is actually a lot of good stuff. So this gives us more predicts, which is just, in general, fantastic. Which we'll probably go for. Wild Inspiration is nice, because we already have 1 less for our created cards, and so getting even more cost reduction for our created cards is really nice. This would also make our Ekko be a 2 cost, which is kind of crazy. It would make his time and dedications, or his, what are they called? Time tricks. I knew there's time and something. Free. But predicting every single round from this, both are good. I think we'll go for the Wild Inspiration. Just like a 2-cost Ekko sounds so good. But Feral Senses could be also very solid. Alright, let's go for Sleepless Slumber. Alright, let's see. This one was created by Echoing Spirit, so that's good. Let's, I think, re-roll these 2. I'm a little bit worried about them trying to kill Ekko, but they have 2 mana, so I think it's pretty likely they could pass back. That being said, let's maybe open like a Fallen Feline, because our Ekko is just a 2-cost now, so we don't necessarily have to drop him right away. Alright, so 0 cost Called Shot, nice. And we can go ahead and do that again. This is obviously making us draw, but also shuffling Parallel Convergences. We can now go for a Scout Attack. Although honestly, having more Echoes in hand wouldn't be too bad. So we can play him another round. Oh look, a Parallel Convergence. Do we want to drop this already? It is just a nice 2-cost. Sure. So the nice thing is, because we got that extra cost reduction, we can now play these time tricks for free. Normally they only get free after Ekko is leveled. Nice. Yeah, let's go for another Ekko. This one did have the 10/10 power, so I don't think we'll play that one. We'll want to play it next round. But let's go ahead and drop this one here. I think let's just attack with Ekko. So far, doing all right. All right, another copy of Ekko. I think let's shuffle this one back in. But yeah, we want to keep a copy of Ekko. All right, so he'll get shuffled, and then we can play this one this next round. So we don't have the attack token, but dropping him, he'll get a free attack. And now we have the attack token. All right, another Ekko, not too bad. Yeah, so far this is going pretty well. They do have the attack token. I don't really know if they'll do anything with it, though. I think let's try to go for actually another called shot. We're going to get some predicts going, so I think we should be fine. Let's drop the veteran investigator, see if we can get... Alright, another Ekko. Let's get rid of this one and kill these two just so they don't have any blockers. We'll hold on to this one copy of Ekko, although this is ending the game, so it kind of doesn't even matter. GG. Alright, so match 1 feels pretty good. I think we're probably going to be able to dominate all the way up until we actually get the Fiddlesticks, and then he's just going to destroy us. Go hard is fun. I think we'll go for the careful preparations, though, especially Grifter's deck. That could be pretty clutch into Fiddlesticks. Alright, support champion. Aatrox, Yuumi. One cost with double attack. Also double attack. Alright, I like that there. This isn't terrible because this has Farsight, which is bad on the Fiddlesticks. But having that challenger means we could play this on our Ekko, and then he's able to get that challenger to choose who is blocking him. Could be pretty good, especially later on. Yeah, these aren't bad. I like the fact she has draw, and then this has draw and cost reduction, because normally we could play this for free. So both of those are really good. A lot of sustain right here. Probably would never play Aatrox. So yeah, it's a little bit of toss-up, some really good cards here, but just being able to give our Ekko challenger, I think might actually be worth it, especially later on. So let's grab this one here. Spells chest, slot bot. Vicious Mockery isn't the best, but sure, I think we can try to go for it. Let's get rid of these two. And, oh, clicked on the wrong thing. This Ekko was not created, which isn't great. It's actually very easy to see what was created. Let's go ahead and drop a Ekko, and we can use a Time Winder if we need to. Oh, we could use a Time Winder already, to be honest. Has that impact? I mean, his attack would fizzle, unfortunately. Let's try to pass. All right, let's play this Time Winder and get rid of maybe one of our copies of Ekko. Kill both of these so they don't have any blockers. And then we can drop this Ekko that at least will be able to kill their units. Oh, right, they can't even... I kept thinking about the free attack. But yeah, that doesn't really matter at the moment. Do I want to go for the Darkened Staff? I don't think it really matters. Let's go for the called shots. We'll be able to get 2 attacks in. So using up all of our Echoes, I'm not too concerned about it at the moment. So I think in the 3 predicts we can potentially do that will be fine. Like right there. And yeah, let's go ahead and attack again. Herald Convergence, nice. Which we could do already if we wanted. Could wait until we had some bigger units though. So potentially save that for another round. Let's maybe go for a Careful Preparation. Don't want to put this back in our deck, but we can put more Echoes back in our deck, that's okay. Nice, another Herald Convergence. Alright, let's go ahead and grab an Ekko. It is, we have a lot in our deck, so it's not hard to get one back, but yeah, it is good to have one in hand. Let's go ahead and play him right here.
Future is whatever I'm making.
Isn't it your favorite time-traveling genius, buddy?
I'd be weirded out if I wasn't.
Let's go for another predict right here. Perfect, more units, the better.
Deja vu isn't what it used to be.
I think we'll keep playing these called shots because we should be able to get another Ekko. But let's go ahead and drop a Parallel Convergence right here. And GG. All right. They could have blocked, but okay. So far, this is going pretty well. That being said, this is very different than how I normally play Ekko, so taking a little getting used to. I suppose we can grab this one right here, just kind of because it's the cheapest. Let's go for the spell and see if we can get something solid. Anything with Farsight, it's a bit rough, because we just get milled even harder. All of these are kind of bad for us, but I think we'll go here for the Hero's Horn. Granted, drawing a champion or extra draw and creating a card, again, bad for Victor, but champion draw is nice for us, so sure. I want that champion item, but we are bad into Thalassophobia, but it should be worth it to try to get a champion item, so let's go here. We can get rid of the Darkened Staff because we're going to draw it. That Ballista's not bad, though. And, yeah, sure, we can hold on to Calculated Creation. Likely that we're going to drop Ekko and then just immediately going to challenge and kill him. Especially because we don't really have anything else to play. Although I suppose we could go right here. This is a 0 cost, so we can drop this and kind of have it be bait. I feel like they're going to use their list, right? They might actually save it for an Ekko. Let's try to drop this right here. Okay, perfect. They're using the list on our bait targets, so that is perfect for us. Yeah, totally fine right there. So now we can drop our Ekko. Let's use this, because with the extra stats, nothing they have will be able to stand against him. Although, nothing really could anymore. Let's go for a called shot. Alright, we have a Hero's Horn, so let's go for the other called shot. Starting to get some of those Parallel Convergences in our deck is quite nice. And then if we need to draw him, we can. Well, should have a good chance of drawing him. Alright, called shot or Ekko. Or Parallel Convergence. I think let's go for this one first.
I do my own stunts.
Alright, we don't see another Ekko, so I think we'll skip this one and potentially still be able to draw him. Let's go for the Calculated Creation. There's an Ekko. This one, though, has not been seen in a Predict, so it's not big enough, which is a little sad. I think let's actually do a Time Winder, which could be pretty good. Let's drop this to have another blocker.
So I got a new one.
Alrighty. I think that's going to be relatively fine. Let's try to see if we can get another Ekko. So I suppose we could get rid of this one, just because he's not kind of strong enough yet. All right, there's an Ekko. Nice. Let's go ahead and drop this here. So now we have that barrier. Sure, we can grab another Ekko. Sure, we can drop this one right here. Having the challenger take out some of their targets could be okay. Alright, I mean, that's fine. Let's drop this, see what we can get. Alright, Fallen Feline, not terrible.
This is my time.
Chrono Break, Parallel Convergence. Chrono Break is going to be a 1 cost, which is actually going to be pretty busted, which means we could actually drop it right here and end the game. Probably.
Man, I'm good.
Yeah. Alright, fantastic. GG. None of these really matter. I think we'll go for Patrol Wardens just because it will be cheap. Let's go here. We want to get something for our Ekko. Anti-up would make him free. So that's something. Yeah, we could just drop him over and over again. Like, Spell Shield is great. Strike Draw 1 can be good, but can make us overdraw. I think we might try to do this. Just because, yeah, him being free means he can just constantly trigger these free attacks, potentially. Even if they kill him, we can then drop another one. I kind of wanted stats, but... yeah, this should be good. So I don't think it's going to affect his champion spell. And, like, we're fine dropping him every round. I think we'll try it. Healer, we don't want to cut a card, so let's just leave. Because we're already going to be milled hard enough as it is. Let's go for Elise. Alright, so that was an Echoing. These have draw. Yeah, this looks decent. Let's actually give it a one of these. It would be nice to have an extra copy of Ekko, even to immediately just play his champion spell. Sure, let's try to drop him. I'm not as worried where, like, if they kill him, it's kind of fine. Let's go for the Challenger. This is, like, pretty much here and onward is when we really start needing to use the Challenger, because otherwise it'd have units like Elise that could block and kill him. I think let's try to play some of these Echoes, get some parallel convergences, shuffling into our deck. And also making them draw is actually pretty good, because now it's kind of wasted on them. Yeah, we can go for this time trick. Parallel convergence already, not too bad. And we saw an Ekko, so that's one that's going to get bigger.
Heading topside.
Let's go ahead and kill this. Yeah, the free time tricks are pretty fantastic.
I do my own stunts.
So yeah, we can go ahead and kill this one now. Softening them up for next round is actually going to be really nice. We could actually draw this card and it'd get obliterated. I think we might do that, or we could just skip it. I don't know, I kind of want to...
Deja vu isn't what it used to be.
Yeah. Oh, it actually goes to their hand. Right, I thought those were getting turned away, but it's not the best there. We could drop this into a parallel convergence. Sure. So let's drop this one right here.
Stay a while.
Alright, another copy of Ekko. Nice.
Got a good feeling about tomorrow.
And I think we'll go ahead and pass.
My true beauty is beneath the skin.
Alright, so let's drop a Ekko. He'll immediately get that challenging attack. It is nice how fast we can proc that. Like, we drop a Ekko, and then being able to drop another one to get the attack off next round is pretty good. Let's do our time trick, see if we can get... grab an Ekko. I was hoping we could get something a little bit different.
Heading topside.
I don't think I want the Veteran Investigator attacking at all. But yeah, we can go ahead and attack like this. Let's go for another time trick. Alright, another copy of Ekko. Yeah, we need to start playing some of his champion spell. This might give them some more units. I don't know how many spiders are left in our deck, but it's okay.
Branching out.
So we're using all of these to kind of just put as many of those parallel convergences in our deck as possible. And then we're going to go for our predict and try to find some. Alright, another copy of Ekko.
Splitting the timeline.
I think we'll potentially hold on to that one. Let's use some of this mana to develop our board.
A little front heavy, but yeah, I guess it's all right.
We can put this one back in our deck for now. Alright, Parallel Convergence, nice. So let's... Yeah, go ahead and use this here. It's fine. All right, another predict. Another parallel convergence. We can bank that one for later. And sure, we can drop this right here. All right, so we have an Ekko in hand. We don't necessarily need to play him at the moment. Not that it's bad. Oh my word, that fallen feline is huge. Sure, let's attack with this one first. Now we can drop Ekko, give us essentially a rally.
Got a cozy home for you.
Oh my word. Let's go ahead and drop this here. Wasn't even paying attention to our Ekko. I was like, oh yeah, he'll be able to trigger it. It's fine.
I'm an adaptable guy.
Let's drop the Patrol Wardens and then attack with our Parallel Convergence.
Another timeline coming through. Little help?
Alright, another Parallel Convergence, not bad.
Progress.
Alright, this Ekko is actually supposed to be big enough.
If it ain't my favorite time traveling genius comforter.
I'd be weirded out if I wasn't.
Let's go right here.
All coming back to me now.
Alright, let's go for a Parallel Convergence, soften them up, and then we can attack with everyone.
Echo. Rewind. This is something for tomorrow.
Alright, it would be... There we go. Nice to get, yeah, another Parallel Convergence, especially now that we have double Echoes.
Mind if I do?
And there we go. GG. A capture... I mean, we know we're going to get rid of whatever unit. It can still be good, especially when we're able to maybe summon multiple Echoes. But I don't really want... Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with that. Overwhelm can be solid, especially if we get a pretty big Ekko. So I think go for that. Yeah, again, trying to get some stats wouldn't be bad, but that's decent. Power. So Enfeebling Strike is really good, but I think we'll go for the Feral Senses. Having a free predict every round is nice. This will, again, make us get milled even harder because we're generating another card every single round. But yeah, a free predict is pretty solid, so we'll still go for that. 2 shops. I think we'll head up here, especially because if they kill our Ekko, we can just play another one. Sure. We get rid of this because we know we're going to draw it, and we can hold on to the other 2. I think let's open up with this. All right. See an Ekko right there, pretty good. We can actually drop this Veteran Investigator, and then we now have that Ekko, which is pretty solid. I think we can go ahead and copy him. Might be useful. Hey, look, another Ekko. So we can go ahead and drop this guy right here. We can get a attack in. Suppose we can kill that one, because the other Ekko should give us a free attack. This one is over 10, should trigger the free attack. Yes. All right, let's shuffle some of these back in, because we can start getting some of those parallel convergences. That'd be very nice. Let's, yeah, do a time trick. Time Winder could be pretty good for this fight. Let's drop the Ballista for extra damage.
This is my future.
And it would be better for us to get kills or kill their units before they can. So sure, let's go ahead and attack like this. All right, there we go. Another Ekko, perfect.
Future is whatever I'm making.
So we'll pass. This Ekko will get kicked back, and then this one we should be able to play here. All right, we already have 10 cards. Let's drop a Feral Presence of Prescience. A Chrono Break is nice. Sure. Let's try to drop this Ekko.
In the game.
And let's go for a Time Winder right here. We can kill this one. Do we care about killing one he's targeting? Not really. Let's go ahead and drop this right here. Actually, we're not even trying to kill that one unit. All right, not too bad. So this is going to kind of shuffle the top, even though we know what's on the top. Let's skip. I think it should still pull out. Yep, the Chrono Break. So 1 cost Chrono Break, pretty nice. Let's drop a drop order.
What's up, show me? Liking the new board?
Little front heavy, but yeah, I guess it's all right.
Do we want to go for a Darkened Ballista?
Heading topside.
I think we will use it. Yeah, it's fine.
Gotta focus.
Oof, that's a big unit. But we're not really going to be able to play it. I guess we could play it next round.
All
Yeah,
coming
fine.
back to me now.
That's pretty ridiculous. All right, let's get a rally going and go ahead and attack again. We'll grab another Ekko for our next round. And here we go again.
Time traveling genius punk buddy.
Well, I'd be weirded out if I wasn't.
Let's use some of these, see if we can get something to try to kill that with. Let's maybe go again. Don't really actually care about this unit that much. Alright, so not quite. Although I suppose
You know, deja vu
we're just
isn't
gonna
what it used to be.
keep on searching. We could place this in our deck. I think we'll go for the other predict. Sure, we'll go for Ekko.
All coming back to me now.
All right, let's go ahead and attack with Ekko. And then if they survive,
You look a sight.
we'll go for Parallel Convergence. And that should just be able to end the game. We could drop the Fallen V-Line, but yeah, this should be enough. Our impact alone will end. GG. Alright, once you've equipped an ally, cost 2 less. Another Farsight, no thank you. Sure, we can grab this one. Let's go for the shop so we can get a decent power here. Allies of Overwhelm, that'll actually be very nice, especially for any big giant units we end up pulling out. Yeah, that'll be solid. I think... Okay, there's no other shops. Let's go ahead and get a couple of these just to have extra versions of a card we actually care about. And let's go here for the Sickening Plunge. Let's get a Vatrox and Amateur Aeronaut. The other two are fine. I think we'll pass here. They normally play something, and they have a recall right away. Not that recalling Ekko is actually that big of a deal. But let's go ahead and pass. Alrighty. Let's do this first. Nice, and then there's an Ekko, so then we can drop a Veteran Investigator, pull out that Ekko. Sure, let's drop this right here. Oof, that's rough. So we can go ahead and kill that. Using the attack token here doesn't really matter. Although, yeah, the version of Ekko we have actually isn't a created one, meaning we can't actually play him, which is a bit unfortunate.
Never had luck, never needed.
Easy to say with that Z drive of yours.
Yeah, I think we'll just... Well, we won't be able to get our
Splitting the timeline.
scout attack off then. Let's go ahead and play some of these.
What's up, show me? Liking the new board?
Little front heavy, but yeah, I guess it's alright.
We can grab this one, drop that there.
Liking the new board?
Alright, so he's going to get shuffled back, and then we will be able to play this Ekko. Alright, let's go ahead and drop this here, get our attack in, get rid of one of their units. Then we have someone that can block that is, or has barrier. Ooh, Parallel Convergence. Alright. I think let's drop this guy then, just pull that out. Then we can go for a time trick. Alright, another Ekko.
Deja vu isn't what future is whatever I make.
Alright, this attack will be very good, especially since they kind of can't block, or like if they do block, we have Overwhelm, so it's still going to do a lot of damage. And yeah, they know they now need to attack, which... Actually, let's let him block the bigger unit. Alright, so we'll have one unit die, but we're killing all of theirs. And GG. Awesome. Alright, that's actually getting more of these is quite nice. And then having a rally banner on it is awesome, especially if we get like a parallel convergence with something that ephemeral version of that. That'd be great. Grow allies' power and health to the highest power and health among allies. Not terrible. Summon a clockling if you predicted summon 2 instead. We have 8 rerolls though. Let's try to get something a little bit more fantastic. Predict. So this would give us 5 units, but burst speed, 5 mana for 5 units. Or not 5, but 4 units. It could be okay for a panic situation, get a lot of blockers. I think let's keep trying. Doubling dice, that could get out of hand, but I have been liking the extra draw, and normally we have been running on the lower end of cards. Sure, I think we will try to go for it, because the worst thing that could happen is if we run out of kind of tempo, because we're already going to get milled super hard. This is kind of doubling down on that, but I feel like it's time to double down. Nope, that's not really going to help us. Retro Terrain can be decent, but I want to get something a little bit stronger. Your Nexus is tough. Not bad, but the biggest thing that's going to kill us is the mill. So our Nexus health kind of doesn't matter. 2 Vanguard Lookouts isn't bad, because those other units could work as blockers, or they can be units that can be attacking alongside us. Again, though, I'm really just looking for something fantastic. Draw 1, give it fleeting. When you discard a card, create a copy of it in your deck. I mean, extra draw can be bad, but discarding cards and shuffling cards back in our deck, I kind of like. So, sure. We do have a lot of cards that do shuffle stuff back in, and I'm kind of going for that. Death Ray could be useful for that, but actually kind of bad at the same time. Let's do a reroll. Regen shouldn't really matter. That's not bad. We could do this just to get more copies, but I think let's try to find something else that is pretty good. Kill a unit with 3 or less power. Probably not going to be applicable for most of our units. Pick a spell in top 5 of your deck, create an exact fleeting copy in hand, then place those top 5 cards into your deck. I think we're fine. Do we want to cut a card? Probably not. Yeah, I think we're fine. I'm hoping that with some cards, such as, I guess we can look at them over here, the Fallen Feline, this shuffling cards in our deck, Careful Preparation, shuffling cards, or putting cards in our deck and then shuffling them with Grifter's deck. With Ekko and the Called Shot, like it's drawing a card, but it's also putting an Ekko in our deck and a Parallel Convergence in our deck. So there's that. I'm hoping, like Practical Perfectionist, that we can try to minimize or somewhat combat the amount we're getting milled by creating a bunch of cards in our deck, but it's probably going to hit us really, really hard. So far, though, Ekko with this build is feeling very good. I don't know if it's going to offset the fact that we are really going to be milled super, super hard, but let's go for it. Time Winder. Let's get rid of this one. I think we'll actually hold on to the rest, especially something with Grifter's deck is always good to hold on to into Fiddlesticks. Let's try to pass. They almost always play something. Okay. We can grab the Ballista. We can drop an Ekko. This will then... Well, I guess we already have one in hand. Equip this here. So we wanted the Challenger, but we should be able to get big enough. Do we want to go for a Careful Preparation? Put this in our deck. Sure. Parallel Convergence already, not terrible. I think we will play this. Although it will use up the Scout Attack. Alright, another Ekko, not bad. I think we'll hold on to this one for now. Let's go ahead and attack like this. This unit will die, giving us a rally. Although having this unit on the boards, we can use more of our Parallel Convergences. Could be really nice. But we should have a decent amount on our deck. I think let's go ahead and attack like this.
Ekko.
Alright, time trick time. Perfect. Another one, another Parallel Convergence. That is really good. Oh man, it's gonna hurt. Next round.
I love it when things converge like that.
Practical Perfectionist could be okay. But I think let's
All coming back to me now.
try to skip here. We could go for another time trick.
Watch out.
Alright, let's go ahead and attack here. And I think we will hold off. This one will get sent back to our deck because it's fleeting. But yeah, it's going to be a lot here. Lot of cards. Alright, let's try to get some cards at hand. Another Ekko, that's fine. Let's drop this Ekko here, get a attack in.
If it ain't my favorite
Killing their
time,
lifesteal
I
unit is
use
pretty
it,
good.
buddy.
Well, I'd be weirded out if I wasn't.
Let's... Yeah, do a time trick. A bigger Ekko, okay.
Isn't what it used to be.
So, this Ekko will die. Not great. They'll probably immediately attack. Also pretty bad. But we do have another big Ekko. Yeah, there's the immediate attack. Not too surprising, this is all going to burn our attack token, which also isn't great. But let's go ahead and attack right here.
New tricks, new day, new song.
So we pretty much need to try to end this round. Otherwise, we are probably dead. This should be enough power to be worth it. Parallel convergence already. I think let's go for some time tricks. If we could just play pretty much as many spells as possible. Yeah, pretty much we need to end. They don't have mana, but that can be fine. Let's use a careful preparation. Another parallel convergence, although we can only play one at the moment.
All coming back to me now.
Another parallel convergence. Let's go ahead and attack with this right here. We have Deathless, so we will actually get another Ekko on the board.
Do over.
And then we should be able to attack like this. They shouldn't be able to stop us. GG. Nice. That went pretty well. I think normally you don't really need the Ekko 6-star, but it actually does enable some new builds for you, because normally a build like this would not really work at all for Ekko. But here it actually worked out pretty solid. We were able to normally play turn one, and then start getting some predicts going so that we could then start seeing some other bigger Echoes, and then after that just start getting these free attacks. And actually felt pretty strong. Very solid early game power, and even against someone like Fiddlesticks that pretty much hard counters us, we were able to do enough early game aggression that we actually were able to come away with the win. So overall, pretty solid. That's it for me, though. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated, and thank you for watching.